My name's Turrell. I am a psychotherapist, an author and a podcaster, and I've been a psychotherapist for 15 years now. I've actually written 2 books. The first book was called Please Yourself, How to Stop People Pleasing and Transform Your Life. And my most recent book, which has just been published by Penguin, is called What Am I Missing? And that's all about how to overcome your blind spots. I also have a podcast, but I might tell you about that later. People pleasing is a passion project of mine and a pet peeve, if I'm going to keep using my alliteration. There is something so important about understanding that people pleasing is not maybe what we've been told it is. It's not a problem of being too nice or too easygoing or too accommodating or about being kind. It's actually about using a set of tactics to try and control the outcomes of a situation, to try and control the reactions you get from other people. We don't do it because we're trying to be manipulative. We do it because at some stage in our lives, it was our best strategy at staying safe and getting what we need. But when we bring that into adulthood, and particularly when we bring it into the workplace, we find that there are some real disadvantages too. So I love helping people learn how to stop people pleasing and become more authentic versions of themselves. So we all know what a blind spot is, right? We all know how it feels to be driving down the motorway and to look in our wing mirror and think that we know what's there, only to be surprised when we realise that actually just outside that line of sight was something really quite important. And the same applies for our psychological blind spots. So we have 4 different ways that we can profile our blind spots. Blind spots being areas of low or no awareness. And I give these 4 names in the book. They are the rock, the gladiator, the hustler, and the bridge. And they are, broadly speaking, 4 different ways that we defend against aspects of reality that don't fit with what we believe to be there. The rock is all about being strong and stable and self-reliant, but can lack vulnerability. The gladiator is confident, ambitious, determined, but can come across as cutthroat sometimes because it can lack empathy. The hustler is all about how to charm and negotiate situations to get what you need, but maybe indirectly. And what the hustler tends to be missing is a sense of self-acceptance to ask for what they need directly. And the bridge has a blind spot around power. They tend to be easygoing, relaxed, they go with the flow, they don't mind, they're flexible, but actually we don't get to meet them as they are because they haven't shown up as themselves yet. We haven't heard their identity. They tend to be lacking power. I adore helping people understand how to overcome their blind spots because until you really know what's going on, until you have all the information, you can't possibly make your most informed decisions. And if you can't make informed decisions, you're not living intentionally. I find it fascinating that organisations often have an organisational blind spot within their culture. So we might have a C-suite of gladiators who are brilliant at achieving results for their shareholders, who deliver for the board consistently, but who maybe haven't worked together to get further faster, who haven't yet learnt how to pull together as a team and develop trust. Or I might work with an organisation of hustlers, people who are great at navigating awkward situations, at directing things from the wings, but who could fly if they could learn how to accept themselves and be more direct about what they need. And when I work with organisations, my aim is to help them overcome not just individual blind spots, but also those blind spots that tend to appear within teams, within levels, within cultures, to get those results that actually are greater than the sum of their parts. So here is where overcoming your blind spots can really transform your career and your professional development. Your imposter syndrome is a thought, not a fact. It's actually something that's got lost into a blind spot. The fact that you have learned to believe that you're here by luck, that you're a fraud, that this could be the same for anyone, that however well you perform, you could have done better. Those are imposter thoughts, and they are the thoughts that are protecting and preserving a blind spot that you have around self-worth, around self-belief. So when I get to help you uncover your blind spot, I also get to help you repair some of those thoughts and beliefs that have led you to think of yourself as an imposter. What I know is that imposter syndrome thrives in 3 particular environments. Those are novelty, minority, and visibility. So if you feel like you're the only one, if you're doing something for the first time, or if you're doing something that feels particularly exposing, you can expect those imposter thoughts to really flare. Understanding that, gaining perspective, recognizing that there's a blind spot at play, will all help you challenge those imposter thoughts and bring your authentic self to work. Never a fault, only ever a blind spot. So I'm in the really exciting position right now of being post-publication of What Am I Missing, and loving that, of having conversations with my agents and editors about what next in terms of books. But right now, what's coming up next for me is a brand new podcast called Friendship Therapy, in which we take the 3 million downloads we had from Best Friend Therapy and we say, you know what, we're going to hand it over to you now. The mantle goes over to our listeners. And my role, think of it like Esther Turrell for relationships, will be to bring friends and friendship groups into a therapy conversation and share it with anyone who's going to benefit from it, so that I can help you understand your friends and yourself a bit better.